So in this episode I'm doing a different format, so I hope that you all enjoy it. So we're going to start off with the biggest stories of this week. So for me, the biggest stories were the YouTube comment improvements, which are basically where content creators can now basically pick comments that they can then pin to the top. There's also a feature that YouTube content creators can opt into where they can basically have the algorithm take down comments and hold them for review for the content creator to then approve, so you don't have to just use blacklisting words and stuff. And content creators can also heart comments to basically show their appreciation for it. And the second piece of big news is by Samsung again, and they are basically recalling 2.8 million top loading washers, and people put in heavy loads and basically had it spinning at its fastest setting. Basically caused them to just break apart pretty much, and now what Samsung's doing is they're either doing the same recalling thing where people can basically bring them in to Samsung and then they'll give them $150 in credit that they can use towards other washers, or they can have somebody go in and actually do a repair on the machine to basically reinforce the top of it. And now moving on to the other stories, Tesla's unveiled a solar roof and a Powerwall 2. So these are basically durable solar panels that look exactly like glass tiled roofs. They can have different textures, and basically there's a solar panel built into them, so it still works as a solar panel but it just looks like a normal roof. It's really great. And they also announced a Powerwall 2, which is basically going to go alongside these solar panels, and it's basically going to be like a big battery for it, and it's going to be able to hold 14 kilowatt hours of battery life, and it's going to be able to last for 10 years. They're actually working with Solar City to bring these out to people, but nobody really knows what the price is going to be yet. And an 18-year-old is in trouble for sending out a link that will make people's phones repeatedly call 911. So we didn't know that this was going to go as bad as it actually did, so he distributed the link over Twitter and nearly brought down 911 for the city of Surprise and affected surrounding cities too. So basically what he wanted to do is he wanted to tell Apple about it so he could get a bounty from it, but instead he put it on Twitter and it basically just messed things up. And he's actually been charged for 3 counts of felony for computer tampering, which are getting him 5 years each, so he might actually be in prison for 15 years because of this. Which is something I actually want to ask all of you about. Do you think that 15 years is a bit too long for this? I mean, it is pretty serious because there could have been legitimate 911 calls that should have gone through but that didn't. But I want to hear all of your opinions about this in the comments down below. And Google has revealed an exploit in Windows 10 that Microsoft isn't too happy about. So Google reported this to Microsoft around 2 weeks ago, but Microsoft still hasn't fixed it yet. They're working on fixing it. Apparently they're saying it's not as bad as Google are making it out to be, but obviously they're not too happy that Google told the whole world about it. They didn't reveal any details or anything like that, but they did reveal enough Microsoft things to basically make people exploit it. And Twitter is adding quick replies and welcome messages for businesses on Twitter. So basically when people DM these businesses, customers are going to be able to do things like click on a button to ask for an order status instead of having to have a physical person reply. And this is supposed to lead to a faster customer service, and it's kind of in response to Facebook's bots system. And Facebook Games Room launched, this is what was actually called Games Arcade if you saw the video that I talked about it in the past. And this is supposed to compete against Steam and take the same 30% cut that Steam takes. So they're pretty much in direct competition with Steam. But Facebook's going to have the power of advertising on their side, so it might convince the game developers to switch over to the platform because they'll be able to use Facebook ads a lot easier with the games. And Microsoft has announced Teams that's going to be going up against Slack, and it's going to be available in 181 countries across 18 languages. And it does a lot of what Office 365 already does, but just within a certain app. So basically you can do things like collaborate on documents, you can do video calling between lots of people, and you can easily move between different teams, and you're going to be able to do threaded chats between the teams. So it's going to be offered as part of Office 365 Enterprise or Small Business, and it's available to download right now. And Twitch is making it harder for people to block ads, so ad blockers shouldn't work for their ads on their site anymore because they are now making their ads kind of disguised as just regular code for their website. And they're also going to be handling ads themselves now. So they're basically taking the control away from third parties and building it right into Twitch. And this feature is going to be rolling out slowly over time. And Adobe is working on some new apps. So the first one is Project Vico, which is basically where they're trying to be able to replicate people's voices and make them basically say words they didn't say, kind of like the Photoshop for audio. And what they need for this is at least 20 minutes of the person speaking, and then they'll be able to use those clips to basically make the person say words he didn't say. And they've also announced a 3D application, which is kind of like the Paint application that Microsoft announced just a bit ago. And it's supposed to work alongside Photoshop and the rest of the Creative Cloud suite, and it will basically allow for users to easily create 3D objects and manipulate them and do a lot of the same things again as you could do in the Paint app. And now moving on to the quickfire stories, the next iPhone has been confirmed time to use OLED, moving away from LTPS. The Macs may also be using OLED if rumours is to be believed. The MacBook Pro's iconic chime has been taken away from the new Macs because they basically don't want it to interrupt people. And self-driving cars aren't going to be labelled as self-driving cars because they don't want people to abuse these self-driving cars, like braking in front of them and stuff. Google Chrome navigation on mobiles may have the option to be at the bottom instead of the top to make it easier to reach with one hand. Apple Music may cut its price down to $7.99 for single and $12.99 for family to compete with other streaming services, although this isn't confirmed at all. BlackBerry has made a deal with Ford to have its software in their cars in the future. The Minecraft Education Edition that I talked about in previous episodes is now being released, and it's been launched in 50 countries across 11 languages. And Samsung display engineer Park Won-sang has revealed that he's working on new displays that will have a 90% screen to body ratio, and this is likely going to be for the S8. Spotify Connect now works with Sonos speakers. Instapaper has made their premium features free after being bought by Pinterest and refunds their previous premium members. Daydream View is coming to stores on November the 10th and it's going to be $79 or £69. Walt Disney and 21st Century Fox are partnering with Hulu to bring channels like ESPN, ABC and Fox to the Hulu service. Wii U ends production and it stopped as of yesterday. The Microsoft Flow was released, which is kind of like If This Then That, but just an alternative to it basically, and it's free for 750 runs. Steam announced that games have to use in-game screenshots to advertise their products on its surface. And this is going to be with the Discovery 2.0 update, and it's in response to a certain little game from before. Twitter is going to be live streaming the Game Awards, which is going to be on December the 1st, and it's going to be the first time that they're doing an entertainment event. They did sports and politics in the past. LastPass is going to let you sync passwords between devices for free, whereas it was a paid option before in the past. DJI has sent out invites to its Control Create event, which is where a new Inspire drone should be announced, and it should be on November the 15th. Vimeo is going to launch a subscription service which is going to go up against Netflix and should be using some of its existing library, which could previously only be bought or rent. And the Xiaomi Mi Mix sold out in 10 seconds, whereas the Mi Note 2 sold out in 50 seconds, although their stock was apparently pretty low at the beginning. And for the funny and stupid stories, somebody decided to change their name to iPhone 7 after a local Ukrainian electronics store offered people to get a free iPhone 7 if they changed their name to iPhone 7. So somebody actually did it. They called themselves iPhone Sim, and yeah, they did get the free iPhone 7. And by the way, Sim means 7 in Ukrainian. And Apple has cut down the prices on their USB-C accessories, basically because people were complaining that they were too expensive. So the new prices are available down in the description down below. And for people who already ordered the adapters, they are getting refunded the difference in price. So that's about it for this video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a like. Be sure to tell me down in the comments below if you like this new format or you prefer the old format of using the individual days. So I'd love to hear your feedback on that. So I'll see you all in the next video. Hope you all have a great day. Bye.